You on? Cool beans. Fan around. Look at these beautiful students. We're out of Escholar. These are the future of agriculture in Esperance. All right. So today we're AIing these lovely ladies. So some of these calves hopefully will end up at the Perth show. You guys gone and shown cattle? Who shows cattle? Any of you guys? Hands up. You gonna do it next year? All hands up.
Slide.
Dynamite. Cool beans. Hopefully. So these are Paratrooper calves. So Paratrooper's that's the Paratrooper's in that can. He's very cold. And Paratrooper sold for 160 grand. So he's a pretty rad bull. He actually resided in Jura Cut Up. So he was raised over in over there on the East Coast, and then they got purchased into WA, and now he's back there getting collected. But anyway, his straws are in there. This is full of liquid nitrogen. So it's somewhere around minus 200 degrees. And that's what Paratrooper had in there, these little straws. There's a 1/4 mil of semen in each one of those, along with what they call extender. So extender is just like all sorts of goodies to keep the swimmers happy. So imagine if you had to live your whole life in a swimming pool, hopefully there'd be some Kool-Aid and stuff in there to eat while you're in there. So that's essentially what's going on. These guys are swimming around in there. Currently they're like this though. This is a bath that's sitting around 35.8 degrees. And so what we do is we got a little grabber. Right. Come on over and have a look. So this is called a lifter. This is a can. I'm lifting it up. You want to reach down into the goblet, and if they're up here for more than about 4 or 5 seconds, they'll start to thaw. And if you let them thaw and then you freeze them again, it'll kill them. So it's really important that we don't allow them to thaw. So between each straw, so I'll thaw 3 at a time. Between each straw, I grab a straw and then I put it back down in the liquid nitrogen. Once they're in there, I hit a counter there, and that's 45 seconds. That's called Dairy Mac. Pretty handy little guy. Set that back in his spot. He's happy to sit there. Then I got my guns. There's a hot water bottle in here, just keeping these guns a bit warm. So if you feel that, oh, feel that gun. It's nice. Oh, lovely. So that keeps it nice and toasty. So you see the guns. See how that works there? That's what pushes the straw out. Do you guys want to play with that? Have a feel? This is counting down 45 seconds. I've got some paper towel here for emergencies when you're on the road and you're far away from the restroom, but also for drying semen straws. So semen doesn't like water. Semen doesn't like light. Semen doesn't like getting hot and cold. So once it's in there, we want to warm it up. We're going to put it in the gun, and we want to get it into a cow as quick as we can. So these cows, about 12 days ago, we inserted an intravaginal progesterone releasing device and gave them a shot of estradiol. That shot of estradiol reset the follicular wave. So what the hell does that mean? Well, in your ovaries, like all of you ladies in the room, guys, sorry you have no ovaries, so you're out of this. But you ladies, all the babies you're ever going to have are already in you, and they're in you on the day you got born. So all the oocytes that you've got, you're born with them, and there's thousands and thousands of them. And what happens is inside your ovaries, you go through a follicular wave where a little follicle, which just means a fluid-filled structure grows in your ovary, and inside of that's a little egg. And what happens is the dominant follicle gets chosen, like I am the dominant follicle. So I'm the top follicle, it gets chosen. And if there's progesterone in the way, it just regresses, and regresses means it just falls away. But if there's no progesterone in the way, it keeps growing, and then it gets released, and then it flows down the fallopian tube. Remember that from sex ed? One of the other cool things, the pictures were even better, but remember the sex ed, the fallopian tube business? So it goes down the fallopian tube, the semen meets it in there, and creates an embryo. That embryo then goes from 1 cell to 2 cell to 4 cell to 8 cell to 16 cell to 32 cells to 64 cells to 128, 256, 512, 1,024, 2,048. Who's next? 4,096. Come on, what's after that? And yeah, you get the point. Pretty straightforward. And so we'll set that there in that hot box. It's gonna wait. We'll thaw another one. And then it's inside a little sack, and that elongates. And when it elongates, it touches the endometrium. So that's the inside of the uterus of the cow. And the more contact there is with that embryo and the endometrium, the more of a signal it sends up to the cow, and it's called early pregnancy detection factor, and it tells the cow, don't get rid of me, I want to stay. And if it gets enough of a signal like that, the cow won't release its own prostaglandin, which will make the CL go away, and then they'll cycle again. Does that make sense? So that's pretty cool. So we've manipulated that cycle. So we've put an intravaginal progesterone device in, we've reset the follicular wave. Then what we've done is we've given them a shot of prostaglandin, that knocked the CL off, the corpus luteum. And then 3 days later, we pulled the device out and stuck stickers on them. That's the things on their backs. Those are called heat detection stickers. And if, when a cow's on heat, what does she do? She lets the other cows jump on her, right? She doesn't ride out from under them. So as those stickers, they were gray, and as they get jumped on, they turn pink. And that lets us know that they're on heat. If they're not pink when we're going to AI them, we'll give them a shot of GnRH, and that'll make them ovulate. In case they've got a little follicle that's going, I don't know if I want to come out and play. So what we do is we give them a needle. You're going to play, god dang you. So now if they come, And then hopefully little paratrooper seaman will meet her, and they'll talk about poetry and beautiful weather and things like that, and maybe going down to the Loose Goose and having a nice dinner. And then the magic happens, and then we get a baby calf that you can take to the Royal Show and win big prizes, so that everyone goes, geez, that Escholar, they produce some banging wieners. Son of a gun. That's what I'm talking about. So that's what we're hoping will happen. So these are the sleeves. So what I've got here is the guns in there. I've cut the tip off of it. I pulled the plunger out, and then I'm going to take this. I'm going to pull it over that straw like yay. Bango. It's loaded. And then what I do is I push it up for the semen moving in the air. There's only a 1/4 mil in there. You don't need much. And now we're good to go.
So, Annie, why do you cover that with a white towel? They might want to know.
What do you put the sleeve on it?
Yeah, why do you put that white cloth on there for?
This cloth?
No,
the sleeve? Oh, right. So it's got to hold the straw, and then as I push it up, the straw is going to push against the nose of that, and then that way, that little wadding on the end of it, like if you look on these are ones that are already done. See that wadding? It was here. See that says Paratrooper P15? Mm-hmm. That wadding was here, and then that stylet pushes it, and it pushes against this nose cone, and then it pushes it out. Now this is what I'm going to do, is I'm going to stick my hand up the top story, and this is going to go in the bottom story, and that's my story. And then I'm going to reach in, I'm going to grab the cervix, so you got the vagina, which in a cow's pretty big. It's like as big as my head, and I've got a big head, right? So there we are. I'm in here, and I've got the cervix in my hand. The cervix is kind of like holding a bun that you put a sausage in. And I've grabbed a hold of it, and behind it's the uterus. And our uterus is just like this. Well, your uterus is, sorry. Not our, but your uterus is like that. And then a cow's uterus is shaped like two big, like rabbit horns, or like that. So that's beyond the cervix. I'm grabbing the cervix, and I'm taking the gun. I'm going to go like this and push it through the cervix. So that keeps stuff in the vagina out of here. This is where the baby's at. This is where the vagina's got other stuff happening. And then after that, I push the semen in. Does that make sense? And it pushes that to there. And that's the empty gun there. Cool, eh? Sweet. So let's make us some babies. What do you reckon? Get back in there. Put it on the way. So I got my glove. And I've got my gun here loaded up in my little hot box. We'll go put it in her hot box. Come on, Ellie. Come on. If there's poo on my hand, I kind of clean it off like that. And then I got to slide in a little bit of poo, makes it a bit slippery. Slide on in. And then I'm going to make a fist. You can't see my fist, but I'm going to make it so I can pucker up her vulva here. And then I'm jamming that down into what they call the bottom connoisseur. Connoisseur is French for, I don't know what the hell that means, but anyway, it's French for something. And now I'm in there, I've got the cervix in my hand, and I've got the gun here, and I'm poke, 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 poke. And when I say poke, 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 the vagina feels nice and soft, as you would imagine, but the cervix is scratchy, kind of like the bottom of your shoe. And so you can feel it with the tip of the gun, and I've just inserted that semen into the uterus. So like if you feel this feeling, I'll give you this kind of a minute. Go like this on your jeans, and then go like this on the bottom of your shoe. And that's the difference between the vagina, nice and soft, cervix, nice and scratchy. So I've got the cervix, and I know because on the roof of the vagina, I'm running along the top of the roof. Keep that snug. Run. It feels nice and soft. And then I hit that crunchy cervix, and I'm carefully feeding it through. So you want to hold that, rub it on your pant leg, and then the bottom of your shoe. It's actually kind of a cool thing. I'll get you one that's not so dirty. You don't clean that up. You're a good student. I like you. Rightio. Let's get another one. Scratchy. All right. We're making babies. Right, just grab some water. Oh. So this girl's a little bit rough, so I'll give her a shot of GnRH, like I was talking about earlier. Gonadorelin, which causes the release of LH and FSH, which is luteinizing hormone and follicular stimulating hormone. All fancy talk, so that they can confuse everybody. So she's a bit snugger, a bit Scottish, so she's a bit tighter in the back end, but I've got her cervix. And yeah, and just kind of carefully. So, and kind of gently, because you don't want to ram this gun through things, that'd be bad. And so I've fed it through her cervix. Give her a bit of rub. Now she's good. Give her a bit of a bingo rub here. Reportedly that improves conception rates, so maybe I'm devious, could be both. And I'll grab a little shot of GnRH real fast for her. So I'll pick that up.
Probably smell like poo.
Why don't you guys hook that together for me? Syringe and needle. Don't poke yourself, that'd be bad. Thank you, buddy. Get myself an ice coffee real quick out of the fridge. Now this stuff stays refrigerated, this Gatorade. It's called kettle mate. Because we're in Australia, we call everything mate. How you going, mate? You beauty. Can you hold this bottle upside down like that? Bloop. Trying to poke you. Bloop. And we're just going to get in the middle of that. There we go. Bloop. Awesome. Thank you. So we're tap. Turn over here. And you can go. Alright, one more to go, guys. This is our last one. Before we stop this video, I'm sure our viewers have had enough. The last end, you got to turn it around and say hello as the super cameraman. See how this one's completely red? She was in standing heat, so she let those other girls dance all over. And that's pretty handy. So that's what the bulls look out for, is cows that don't want to run away from them. They'll stand and say hello. How you going? Actually have a conversation, swipe right. And yeah, they ride them, and that looks gray like that other one does, and it just rubs all that gray off, kind of like a lottery ticket. So she's scratched off, and guess what? You win! Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Putting some Paratrooper up in her. That's it, team. Was that cool? You guys are awesome. Keep doing good work. Keep learning stuff. Thanks, brother.